28th and Jefferson checking in. We are here. We are live, recording. Go to your local social medias, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. 28th and Jefferson, we are here. We are here with the lovely Paige Brown.
Hey.
How are you doing, darling?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing great. We're glad you can come in today and sit down and talk about some stuff, whatnot.
I'm happy to be here.
So, of course, tell people about yourself, Paige Brown Designs. Let's get a background of you for our listeners and viewers today.
Do I need to speak into the mic?
Oh, girl, you're good. We're gonna pick you up.
Okay. Hey everybody, I am Paige Brown of Paige Brown Designs, and we are a wedding planning and designing company here in Nashville. So if you don't follow us on social media, be sure to do that. It's at Paige Brown Designs. About me?
Yeah, about you. Tell me something about you that they don't know.
She's like, which camera do I
Right, y'all got 25 cameras going
Come on,
on.
Bashir.
You gotta work all of them. You gotta work all the
work the
room.
Check the branding.
Give the image. You gotta work the room. Work the room.
All the
Work the
messages.
room. So, so I own a business and I also teach entrepreneur classes for women of color. You can follow us on Instagram, that's Thrive. And that platform is really just to inspire and empower women, not necessarily business-wise, which is a huge component, but also spiritually and emotionally. So I'm excited. We have a lot of things in the works. And what else? I cannot swim, but I love being on the water. I love going to the beach. I love hiking. What'd you say?
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer. You know, people like to flex, like, I enjoy. No, usually I have my floaties, but I do enjoy.
Floaties matter.
My floaties matter.
It's okay.
All floaties.
I enjoy that. I enjoy hiking, and I just enjoy mostly being around women. I enjoy my family, but most importantly, just creating bonds and relationships with other women is really important to me as well. So.
Well,
Yeah.
I have a question. What inspired you to do what you do?
Which part of what I do?
I mean, the wedding design, like everything. What brought forth okay, I'm about to be a wedding designer, or
Yeah.
and the women empowerment deal.
So I got into wedding planning about 3.5 years ago. We were in the process of planning our wedding. Shout out to my hubby. And at the same time, I was also working in HR. So I was responsible for planning all of the celebratory events there while planning our wedding. And so just in the mix of doing all of that, I really discovered how much I loved it. Sometimes I would stay late after I usually got off at 5 every day. And I would look at the clock, sometimes it was 9 o'clock. I was still there figuring out other ways to implement design, transforming a car studio. You know what I'm saying? But I was passionate about it and I loved it. And so after our wedding, I used to always want to quit my job. I hated my job. And I would always ask my husband, babe, can I quit? I don't want to. He was like, no. We gotta, let's have a plan. Not even that, but just like you just want to quit because you just want to quit. Like we need to put a plan in place and so on and so forth. So I didn't necessarily know what I wanted to do, but I knew I didn't want to do that. So I just kind of really prayed about it and just really focused on what was important to me. And so in between all of that, I discovered like my passion for this. And so I sat down with him one day and I was like, listen, I love this so much. Like I'm super passionate about it. I'm like, I want to pursue it. And he was so supportive. He gave me the green light. He was like, go for it, quit your job. He picked up a second job. He was so supportive of my dream. And I just took a huge leap of faith. I prayed about it. And it was rocky at first, but I believed in myself. And it was something that I was really passionate about. So I was willing to do whatever it took to achieve that. And that's what I did.
Goals.
Cool.
You're wonderful. Gosh,
Say you gonna do it and you did.
Did it without the support though of my village, not just him. Brittany, another person, when I first started, she's kind of one of the first people who was just really there and just very supportive and taught me everything that she knew. So shout out to her. Shout out to so many. Yeah, artificial makeup. Follow her if you don't. Just shout out to, it was so many people. Of course, my husband, my parents, just everybody, even the community. Like, people were so supportive. That means so much to me because I am nothing without the support of the people who enjoy our designs and enjoy our wedding. So I'm just grateful.
Well, I see. When I went on your website, I saw like as seen on Bravo. Like, what did you do on Bravo?
We designed a few events on Bravo's Thicker Than Water for the tankers.
Okay.
So some of the celebratory events that they had, we were responsible for designing those.
Young Paige
That's
and
fine.
them.
Yeah, it was
Filling
fun.
that resume on out a little bit.
And the extra page on there. This starts, bro.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. That's great, though.
Yeah, it was a really great opportunity. It was fun.
What if you had, let's see, if you had a dream event that you would do, what would that dream event or dream wedding would it be?
I think that as far as aesthetics and just what I envision for the future of our business, I feel like I've already lived out so many of my dreams. And so because of that, I'm dreaming bigger. So I will say the dreams that I have set, which was to design a 6-figure wedding, was a possibility, and it happened for me. And that was super awesome, not necessarily because of the money attached to it, but because of the opportunity and the things that I could do creatively. Because no matter how talented you are, if the budget is not in line, you know, there are just restrictions. There are restrictions, and so you can't create nothing sometimes something out of nothing in those situations. So that was a super awesome experience. But now my dreams are much bigger, and so my ultimate goal is to definitely to do an event for Beyonce.
Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and speak that thing into the atmosphere. Let's go ahead and
let's send those hands up.
Matter of fact, I need to renew the vows. Okay. Blue got a birthday. What's
It's so many events happening. We got room inside. What's going on?
It's plenty of events.
We're ready.
Yeah,
Go ahead and call us, B.
line them up.
Jay, one of them, Tata, something.
Right.
We got who you need.
Now, I know you watched the royal wedding. I'm just assuming that you did. You did?
I did not.
Okay.
I saw clips of
Are we supposed to watch
Okay, what?
it?
I ain't gonna lie, I didn't watch
I'm
it.
uninterested.
I watched it via everybody else's Instagram. I didn't really watch it. First off, I'm not waking up at
You may be the
5
only
in
one
the
in the
morning.
room had watched that. So what happened? Besides they got married.
Oh, I watched as much as y'all did on Instagram.
I did see clips,
Yeah,
and it
that's
was
all I saw.
super
looked nice.
inspiring. It was dope. I love what Megan did. She showed up and showed out, like, as far as the culture is concerned, as much as she could.
As much as she could.
So I respect that.
So what would a royal wedding with a Paige Brown Designs influence be like?
Ooh.
Yeah. That's you. Like I set that up. Did I set that thing up a little bit? Come on, man. Yeah, set it up.
You did, man. You can read, boy. You can read. Go ahead.
You know what? I'm uninterested in doing those type of weddings as far as the politics go.
Let's take the political
But
side
if you
out.
just mean aesthetics,
Aesthetic.
Let's
A
just
royal,
focus on aesthetics.
a royal wedding with no politics,
Rose
no
petals,
parliament,
like,
ain't
to
no
America. Can we have a rose
Who
petal?
crazy?
none of that.
Rose petals.
you know what? Sometimes I do feel less is more. And so when I think of royal, I don't think of gaudy. I think of elegant and chic. So of course that would be a plethora of flowers, you know, lush gold ornate details. We'd have different textures, shades of ivory, floral walls, strolling violinists, pianists, live music. Of course a fountain. You gotta have a fountain, and you have to have the past hors d'oeuvres.
Okay.
But yeah, just simplistic elegance.
Yeah.
For sure.
And that, from what I saw on Instagram, you know, those type of weddings over there, especially with the royal family, like they have a strict regimen that they have to follow. It's almost little to no real creativity in doing that, even though their budget is damn near limitless.
Insane.
You know what I'm saying?
And so that's when it gets to a point where it's not about the budget, it's about the client. And that's just not an ideal client for us, because we are the antithesis of all of those things. We are fun, we are bold, we are vibrant, we're vivacious, we're full of color, texture. And I feel like that's something that makes us different. That's something not necessarily different from other brands, because there are a ton of brands out there who, you know, have those same components. But I think it's important when starting a business, I'm just starting my own conversation, but since we're on this topic,
Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. We got a couple folks on everybody's cameras and on everybody's phone. Keep going.
I think, when owning a business, it's important to stay true to self.
Mm-hmm.
And so it would be untrue of me to put on this image of perfection or, I'm not a tea and crumpets kind of girl.
Mm-hmm.
I like flashy things, but still elegant and tasteful. And I enjoy leather and nights out on the town. I'm not stiff. I like to have fun and I curse like a sailor, and that's who I am. And so if you want to work with me because I want to work with you, but there has to be a respect and an understanding, and I feel like that's why I love our clients so much.
Right.
Because we really draw in those unapologetic brides who are fun and full of energy, and most importantly, who trust us to execute the wedding of their dreams. So that is super dope,
Cool.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it just me or are y'all kind of getting like she probably did Gucci and Keisha Dior's wedding? Like, I don't know. I'm kind of getting those type of
No, I didn't do their wedding. I would do their wedding. I would have done their wedding, but I didn't. The components, the things that they incorporated, I think they did a good job. It's no Paige Brown design production. We would have, but it was beautiful.
Hey, listen,
It was beautiful.
They still shook it. They
did.
shook it a little bit.
Not a little bit. They shook it a lot.
They did it a lot.
It was lit. They did a good job.
Yeah. Y'all know you have several coming up, and one that I would be very proud to be in. My best friend Chase Carpenter and Toya.
That one. They're such amazing people. I'm super honored to be a part of that big day.
Yeah, those are my folks. So so we definitely. I'm very anxious to see what you have in your bag for that one, but I'm a chill though.
Toya has great taste. Toya has great taste.
Yeah. Toya is very detailed. She is super detailed. Did you have any influence, any input on the invites and the wedding announcements that went out?
No, we've jumped in now, and so we're doing all the aesthetics and the logistics. But I saw those.
You did.
She sent me photos for sure, just to make sure that we're consistent with what we were doing, and I love them. Yeah.
So, question for you. Let's talk about women empowerment.
I was about to ask that too. Well, just go ahead. Yeah.
Because you said that a few times.
Did I?
We know what it means, but could you break that down for us? What does women empowerment mean to you?
There's so many layers.
Yeah, that's a deep one. But just surface. Let's just apply it back to Paige Brown Designs, to your clientele, to your team. How does that empowerment influence them and yourself? What do you get from that dealing with the women?
How does women's empowerment influence my team and my clients? Is that what you're asking? Well, I think for one thing that I love about my team is everyone is so different, and they are unapologetically themselves. And I feel like because I don't have workers, I have creative partners, I have business associates who are, who've turned into family. It's a team of us. So although this is my business and this is my brand and I have the final say so, I am nothing without my team. And I think it's important to understand that, and they do, and we work really well together. And so I think each of them individually is empowered, so collectively we are just amazing, for sure.
That's an amazing structure. Just knowing how America is all based on a pyramid scheme. It's like the boss eats and everybody else get the crumbs.
And I don't.
You know what I mean? And I fuck with I'm really messed with how you structure. You know what I mean? How your business is ran, because it's everybody's gonna be openly willing to work with you if everybody is perceived to be on the same level and want to, and build with each other. That's wonderful. That's
exactly.
great.
And I encourage them individually, okay, let's figure out some ways for you to make some more money on the side. What do you want to do? What are you passionate about? You know what I'm saying? I think that's important. To whom much is given, much is required, and it's our responsibility, especially as a culture, to pour back into our people
Yeah.
in any type of capacity. It doesn't matter whether it's financially or mentoring or just even by leading by example. I think that's important.
Do you have an age range of women that you mentor? Like, do you mentor a lot of little girls as well, teenagers?
We have not started that, but it's funny that you asked because Paige, PJ, one of the team members, is about to spearhead a project for that community service space. We're going to start doing some more frequently every quarter. I think that's really important.
Great.
So we're initiating that right now.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, because I feel like that's needed just due to how our people mentally for over 400 years have been like oppressed. You see what I mean? Like
we got a lot of catching up to do.
A lot of catching up,
and
a lot of healing, a lot of spiritual.
Yes, individually as women and men, and then even like with regards to relationships, the same thing. We have so much catching up to do, but we can do it, and we're going to do it. But it's our responsibility to reach back and, you know what I'm saying, help each other.
Yeah, because our age range, we're the bridge if you think about it. Like we're all between our 20s and 30s, and all the old heads. A lot of old heads are stuck in their ways now, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of kids now, they're open, they're malleable, so they're open to something that they can relate to. You create and relate, so that's what everything is really based off of nowadays. So I see what you're doing is very, very beneficial, not only for yourself and your family, but just for the community. And it's like it definitely has to be expanded. Not just you yourself, but all of us that sitting at this table, because our kids need us so much. They need us, and they need to know that like everything doesn't have to be an extreme. Like you don't have to be a doctor or you don't have to be an entertainer. There's so many different ways for you to be successful and how you perceive success.
Exactly.
You see what I mean?
How perception is perceived.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like for our community, our kids need to know that and not have to rely on traditions that came before us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think when you hear wedding planner, that's not necessarily something that's deemed respectable. That's just now getting some type of clout and respect, because you think of a wedding planner and you think of a do-boy. You think of, oh, here's your clipboard. No. Like, you know, and so I think it's important, especially as creatives. Like you said, you either told, you have to be a lawyer, a doctor, whatever the case. But as creatives, like, we need to really start challenging that. And I think that that's what's happening, but people are starting to respect the craft more.
Right.
You know, and so that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Is there anything you would like to see on the wedding design team? I know there's a lot in the city. There's a few different groups that are trying to do their thing. What do you like to see from other designers and organizers, event planners throughout the city?
Just like from the culture, the wedding planner culture.
Yeah, just specific.
I like to see that people are inspired to pursue their dreams, because there's room for multiple wedding planners, just like there's room for multiple clothing lines and multiple, because it's not about that. It's about the individual. We all have something different to offer. And so if that's something that you're passionate about and it's something you want to pursue, go get it. And don't compare yourself. I'm not worried about.
That's real though. That's real though. That's real though.
Yeah.
And it's not because I think I'm better. It's just like I am my own competition. I can't, if I'm looking this way and this way, then I can't keep I can't keep focused on what's ahead of me. And so although I see y'all, I love it. Like big ups to you guys. Like keep going. But as far as PBD and like what Paige Brown is doing, like I'm right here. So
Say it with the chest.
Yeah, that's very important. I mean, I love that you said like you're not comparing yourself to anywhere else or to anyone else, because with the age of social media, microwave society, everybody's just so stuck on looking at what somebody else is doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And which hinders your own. You know what I'm saying?
Growth and development.
Come on, man.
right.
You know
But
what
if
I'm saying?
anything, it's like you should be inspired. You should be happy for that person, because if anything, that shows you like, hey, this is attainable.
Right.
So I just don't really get that comparison piece. Like I'm always like, oh, so and so, oh, shoot, look, like people I don't even know. I'm rooting for everybody. So
and I don't think that people realize that the comparison thing. There's nothing wrong. There are two C's I'm gonna bring up. One was comparison, and the other is competition. I don't think there's anything wrong with the competitive part, as long as if you're being competitive, you're pushing everybody else to be just as good or better than you. Because then if somebody laps you, then that should motivate you to become better. It's almost like working out. You get a trainer for what? To push you and to become the best version of you. It's not like you show up to that workout and you like, oh no, I'm not really feeling, you know what I'm saying, your 8-pack and you know what I'm saying, how fast you can run a mile or anything like that. But instead, you're looking at that person and the progress that they've made, and you're just like, okay, if they can do it, I can do it. And as a whole, that's how I think culture starts to catch fire. Like you said, multiple clothing lines, multiple event planning groups, multiple wedding planners. You said there's enough room for everybody to eat, and I think that if everybody is competitive yet supportive at the same time, I definitely think that the culture as a whole can grow, which ultimately starts getting us caught back up on them 400 years that we're so far back.
100%.
You feel me?
Paige, I have a question for you. On a self-awareness scale from 1 to 10, what do you rank yourself?
I'd say I'm about a 6.5.
That's real, and that's real talk. Cause I feel the same exact way. Cause like forever, like I've battled confidence. You know what I'm saying?
I'm very confident.
Nah, but see, not me. No, I'm just talking about me.
Oh.
You definitely you ooze that.
I don't think anybody is a 10. I think the whole journey of life is to figure out who you are. And like,
for sure.
What your divine journey is, your divine path. So I feel like if anyone's like, oh, I'm a 10, then they're
right, exactly.
They're missing a few steps.
For sure.
Speaking on the women's empowerment, let's talk about. I mean, I've known you for years. Like I've known you like since we was like kids, damn near. So like, kind of sort of speak on what that women's empowerment grind looks like. I mean, I know a lot of times we hear people talking about, oh, I'm grinding, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but it's like, you're not really yielding those type of results. And as fast as you have kind of skyrocketed on the event planning and the wedding planning scene, you have definitely shown and you have receipts of what the grind actually looks like for PBD. So can you speak to our viewers and whatnot on what that women's empowerment and that grind actually looks like?
Honestly, when I first started teaching Thrive, I had all these worksheets and terminologies and, different ways to express what type of business you can own and, how to create a spreadsheet and how to profit by this amount of sales. And I realized that although this is great information, like the step that is crucial is the mental piece. And so the whole objective with the women's empowerment movement is to teach women the power of the mind and the importance of spirituality and self-love and self-awareness. And then once you figure all of that out, the rest will flow naturally. And then you'll be able to actually grasp the terminology that I'm sharing with you and the methods and the ways that I'm, trying to show you how to get there. Because if you don't have that piece, it can be accomplished. But I also believe in alignment. So you have to be aligned with what you're trying to achieve. It's like, and until you get to that version of yourself, then, it's going to be more of a struggle for you.
Well, Paige too woke out here in these streets. You know what I mean? Way too woke. Let's talk about this Justice Kennedy retiring.
You follow politics at all?
No.
I don't even know.
Intentionally.
Yeah.
Intentionally. I mean, I'm aware of especially the things against, the crimes against Black people because I used to be very radical. I had to calm it down. I'm still, because I would get so involved.
Since when?
When was I radical?
When was this? I missed this stage. What happened? What was the radical stages for you?
I was very militant.
Okay.
I was definitely leading and, spearheading protests, which I'm still all about that, but I think it sounds so cliche, and I'm still, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, sometimes retaliation is necessary. Like, Like, I understand the importance of peace. And you know what I'm saying? Like, being compassionate and being kind. But if somebody just continually has you messed up, then, like, it's time to
G-check them.
Yeah, and that doesn't necessarily mean violence. There's so many ways to rebel. There's so many ways to stand up for yourself. So, nowadays, I just really want, of course, kind, period, but most importantly, just our people, because we have been oppressed for so long. I really want all of us to just really get it right. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, and just help each other and, like, evolve together. I think that's crucial. And so, because of that, I definitely keep up with the politics regarding, you know, the jail reform specifically really has me pissed off right now. Just because that's modern day slavery. So, just those type of things I'm on top of. But other than that, if we got something to do with Trump, I'm not trying to
we call him 45 on this show. We don't.
Do you?
We don't refer to him by his government name, his God-given name. He is
because
45.
we have to be mindful of what we take in on a daily basis.
Man,
it's just not good for our energy.
It's not.
So of course it's important to stay abreast of certain things, but we are becoming desensitized to so many things because we see the violence, we hear this negativity on the news
and it's
so
commonplace,
often.
and it's becoming commonplace.
Exactly. People are standing by filming. We were just talking about that earlier. Filming people get murdered. Like, what is going on? So I have to be mindful of what I listen to, what I'm eating, all of that. Like, if I want to be the best version of myself. So for that reason, I don't follow politics as frequently.
Well, it's cool. I'm gonna throw a quick one on there for I guess Workful Wednesdays, Woke Wednesdays, Political Wednesdays. It's pretty bad news right now. Kennedy, Justice Kennedy, is retiring. He is calling it quits. It's the same man for Roe versus Wade. Sexual orientation and all of their legalities. Also with Board of Education, a lot of things that eventually get down and trickle down to us, obviously, black people, will be at the whim of a nomination from the 45 one. Donald Trump, I don't care. But he will be electing the next one. And this is not just a two-year term, a 4-year. This is till you die. Or you do like Kennedy's doing now and retire. So this is beyond, he already did it once, and it still was like a one-person vote. That's why a lot of the votes through the Supreme Court right now are being won by one vote. Well, now he's going to have a pick of the second. So, this passes the next 2 or 3, 4 presidents. Yeah. Because it's going to be most likely a conservative in this seat, which, and then the other little lady, I forgot, it's not Scalia, but it's another, she's old, so I don't know how much baby girl got left. So if she go in the next 2 years, this man might mess around and he's going to have 2, but he might mess around and have 3 appointees to the Supreme Court, and it's bad. That's really bad. I don't care what you do as president. Like you said, not jail reform or just a black people level. I don't care who's in there for 4 years. 4 years? That's undergrad. Yeah, that's quick. But the Supreme Court, these people don't leave. So how far you push it up through the legal system, it's going to get to the Supreme Court eventually. And the way it's looking right now, it's going to be conservative all through that thing. So that was announced today. But, and then Jeff Sessions still in there. We got to get rid of the whole administration, people.
Throw the whole administration away.
Throw the whole jig away.
Most likely, his people are on it. They're going to nominate this guy before November. Or lady, you never know. But all women empowerment, all black rights, equal rights, same-sex rights about to get thrown under the door. Once he gets another piece to the Supreme Court. So November, again, another reason to go vote. We need to turn everything blue. So we can actually put some pressure to impeach this entire situation. Because their people are not doing it, Congress is not moving. We have to come and change them out this November. So, real quick, but yeah.
Wow.
That's heavy.
That wasn't exactly happy news to.
But it's still good.
But it's important to know.
So we can get ahead of
very important to know.
To make sure we vote. We always, as people just in general, complain about things that are happening, but when it's time to vote,
we don't show up.
And I will say,
not one bit.
That's what happened. That's why Trump is here today. We sat back and thought everything was cool, and we didn't care, and we're gonna take the
do you
middle
think a lot
ground.
of our people didn't vote?
We did.
Really?
Male and female, the numbers.
The younger
do show.
generation.
Numbers
Black
are
people.
down.
I think we
Down.
Well-
Women always have the higher because it's more of you all
Yeah.
out here doing great things.
Right.
Shout out to the women. There's a brunch this weekend with Equity Alliance and Black Women of Middle Tennessee. Shout out y'all ladies. Y'all are great. Y'all are gonna vote regardless.
Absolutely.
But when Trump was in back in November and the Hillary thing, and then Comey, and what about your emails?
People kept saying they didn't want to vote.
They didn't want to split.
But
Well,
listen,
you guess what?
right.
They split the whole dollar.
Right.
So yeah, he won by about 8,000 divided by 3 states. That's about 8,000 of y'all mofos that didn't vote.
Well,
And our numbers are extremely low. Black. I'm not concerned with everybody else.
Right.
But black men, we're lower numbers naturally. But black women as well. We were down.
right.
And recently in some of the primaries, Alabama won, turned that Democrat. Tennessee, Bradenton is coming up here soon. We're trying to get that Tennessee to go blue. Oh, that'll be amazing.
Yeah, 'cause I think
So,
Tennessee,
that's
we
gonna
only
be- that's gonna be a
out of
tag.
95.
Jefferson County is always.
Yeah,
They
that's
didn't say
Tennessee.
and, but if you
Yeah,
put-
it's just
they-
Tennessee,
yeah.
and y'all know that's.
It's gonna be a
Exactly.
hard
Yeah.
task.
Knoxville,
Yeah.
red.
Right.
I think we only have.
Forget about Knoxville.
Red.
I think we only have 2 blue counties, and that's Shelby and
Hey.
Davis. That's
Of
just
course,
last
Shelby,
one.
right? And
Those
yeah.
are only 2 blue counties out of the
I did.
95.
I'm up for the challenge because
Very
I'm up for the
optimistic.
challenge.
I-
Anything that we can do to push it forward to
Right.
get any type of representation
Yeah.
in the current seats is mandatory. And mainly in Congress. Our
Yeah.
Senate is coming. Sister Harper, shout out Sister Harper sitting
Yeah.
down.
Mhm.
We getting some others moving in, new younger fresh blood coming through. So
Right.
this year, like, yeah, anything else that needs to happen has to happen this
Yeah.
year. We slept on not Bush. Shout out Bush. He's alright.
Bush don't seem that bad after 45 been in office, do. I mean, at the end,
No,
Shit, gas going up too, nigga.
but that's what I'm saying, though.
Gas
Like,
was supposed to go up. The fuel tax that Tennessee passed back in 2017 was going up in June.
Right.
So everything,
It
gas
was
going
gonna go up anyway.
Shout out Bush. You got caught in a messed up situation, dude. I don't think you the brightest. We know you're not the brightest. You got caught up in a bad situation that screwed you up for about 8-9 years.
Yeah.
I get it. You ain't too bright enough to fix it. But we have seen worse. And we're dealing with worse. So,
Well, let me
I don't know if we
kick
need
this.
to shout him out though.
Yeah, I don't know. A
Shout
shout out might be
Shout
extreme.
That might be a
A
little
shout out
I'm
might
gonna
be a
shout out
little much.
anybody I mention on
Especially
here.
because I highly doubt
I've
he likes
seen-
black people.
Well, I will
I don't
say
know
this
what he
though.
likes.
I will
I
say
don't know
this
what he
though
likes.
about Bush, and looking at it in retrospect, now that we have the orange guy in the office,
Donald Trump.
the thing that the orange guy did, is he kind of gave our oppressors and those who don't really like us, he gave them hope. And he actually gave them courage to say what they wanted to say now, do what they want to do, think what
He
they
was
want to
okay.
think.
I'd rather than be honest though.
I rather than be
Say I hate
face-to-face
niggas to
with
me.
you. I hope
It's
that
all I
I'm
know
very-
not to mess with you. Don't hide. Don't hide.
I don't need you to be fake behind it. I need
Exactly.
you all the
And see,
time
that-
to have that same
That-
energy.
that's the only best part
So
about
I can
dude
address
being
you
in the
properly.
office. Not that
But you know
everybody
what?
starting to wake up and be like, bro, like,
I'd rather you hold the door for me. You got me messed up.
Listen,
see,
here's the thing.
Then to
Half-
just be so belligerent and hateful, if that's how you feel, that's fine. But and in some cases, yes, tell me to my face. But then things could get violent.
And-
not
and that's
in
the
the
Nobody getting
And- but
violent.
let me kick
on the
it.
surface level.
But let me kick it to y'all this way though. And the whole be who you are, the whole be who you are, let me see who you are. That would be fine and dandy if we was playing on an even playing field.
Right.
Y'all gotta remember.
Well,
Right.
Yeah, you're right. No.
That,
I'm
I
a
don't
like
think
for real,
that's-
that. If
why.
everything was even across the board, black and white, yeah, have that same energy, my G. When I
But
see
the
you,
moment you say
you
something
feel me?
back,
But the
yeah.
moment you say something, because I'm gonna
it's
tell
not
you,
safe. Yeah.
it's not safe because what has wound up happening is now. I mean, I don't know if we have very many white viewers, but what winds up happening now is that the predator or our lighter pigmented counterparts, once they get caught, now all of a sudden they're the victim now.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
You're doing the victimizing,
Yeah.
but now
Main
all of a
reason why I'm
sudden, when
desensitized
people are paying
some of
attention,
that
now all of a
emotion.
sudden you're the victim. Nah, my G. That nah.
But
bro.
the main focus,
Bro.
we need everyone,
what I'm saying?
opinion aside, go out and vote. If you're not ready to
What kind of
vote,
canvassing can we
go
do
ahead
for
and get
this?
that
For
done.
those who don't necessarily follow politics, because just because you don't follow politics doesn't mean
Right.
that you aren't passionate about this and want
gotta
to show
vote.
up and
Right.
vote.
Gotta vote.
So let's figure out,
Gotta vote.
outside of, announcing it here, let's figure out some ways to canvass and get this out there and let people know and help them understand what's happening.
Absolutely.
So that they can vote.
With
Yeah.
the Urban League, we have a voter registration drive that is happening on our next general body meeting.
Beautiful.
Everybody come out to the general
Gotta be
body
there.
meeting if
Yeah.
you're not already signed up. The Urban Enterprise Group, we're working on a voter registration with the Urban Equity Alliance team. They are great, they're brilliant. And from there and beyond, go to your churches, go to your community centers,
Yep.
go to your friends and homies and everybody. Make sure y'all register to vote. Get your mom and
Yeah.
them out there, because we let Trump sneak through there.
Yeah.
Let's not do this again.
But you- right.
Let's not just chill this time.
But you know what though, Doug? But you know what though? The whole setup for whoever was gonna come after President Obama was being paved before 45 even started canvassing.
That's
Because
fine, but we didn't.
Because I understand that, but what I'm saying is that, and I'm about to piggyback on that, but what I'm saying is a lot of people think that the presidential election is won during the presidential election.
Those
a lot of
people
times,
come to our voting seminars.
a lot of times it's set up, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times it's set up, well, all the time it's set up during your local and state elections, and then it just works its way on up. Because if we want to just base it solely off of numbers, how many times did we see on social media or have conversations, people be like, Hillary had how many more votes? Was it like 2 million more votes or something like that?
8,000.
Hillary should have won. She had 2 million more votes. Yeah, by the popular vote, but the electoral college, everybody was red though, damn near. So it was almost like no
Shout out
matter
Miss
how many
England.
people,
If you're watching.
voted for her, it was still gonna be an uphill battle for her to overcome the electoral college
Right.
votes.
I would like to
anyway.
shout out Miss England,
She
National
did
School
well.
of Arts,
Campaign. She didn't do
political
well
science
campaigning.
teacher. She
She did.
basically gave us the green light. Dr. Spadafino, Donnie Crenshaw, Brother Bakari at Middle Tennessee State gave us the info on how this politics games work. Poli-sci for 1 year, so that definitely helped out as well. So anybody having questions about what Patrick is saying, or they're missing details about how the system works, don't be mad at the system. Learn the system so it can work best for you, us, all of us.
Yeah.
I'm not in the mood of we're gonna beef a vendetta, tear it apart. No, it's here for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
You leave this country for 4 or 5 days, you're coming back for that very reason. Now, currently, it's in a messed up spot. Well, we allowed that to happen, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Now we have the chance to change it by
Gotta
simply
rectify
voting.
it. Yeah.
We need people out there to vote, all ages, over 18.
Yeah.
I don't care who you vote for. These numbers better be up come November, because we need all of this flipped back. Because if not, Kennedy's out. First of all, that's not going to change. So Supreme Court, we can't touch that. Everything goes from our local level, definitely the presidency, but the local level, city government,
State, yeah. all of
council,
that,
and if
yeah.
you're aware of what's happening in Nashville, we run on time. Either way, the metro government we're in a spot right now as well. Just about as bad as the country, except we don't actually have a Federal Reserve to go and pull the resources. We're just going to pull it from all other projects in education and public housing, and we're going to build sidewalks. And we're going to get some, maybe, sidewalks, and we're going to build something for bikers and cyclists. Sorry, bikelists and cyclists out there. but-
Bicyclist. Okay.
all of y'all are more concerned at this current point for Metro Nashville government. Shout out Councilman Davis and Hastings, trying to do something that can get things back right for Nashville. Outside of that, go vote, people. And you
And this
register.
topic could just keep going on and on.
Y'all register.
100%.
Everybody in here
Absolutely.
registered.
Absolutely.
So we need y'all to make sure y'all are too.
I mean, it's
Quick
just
minute on it.
just 10 minutes, bro. You go in
So
there,
quick.
Super
you
quick.
show your ID and your
Quick.
registration card to somebody grandmama at the table, and she be like, "Do you still live here? Check yes or no. Is this right? Is everything
Sign
correct?"
one paper,
Boom.
y'all. That's so simple. And we can change
Yeah.
this. Like we slept, and you know what? I take a little blame too, because when Hillary was in there and Comey dropped out about the emails, I sat back and I was like, you know what? She still got it. I voted already, but she still got it. I ain't gotta push nobody. I ain't gotta go pick up the elderly today, cause she still got it. And y'all, 8,000, eight of them things decided some key battleground states to where this man won. And now we're doing the ripples effect, and he's effing it up
Yeah.
But we got a chance to do something for the next 2 years.
Right.
In a few months. So
Yeah, I don't know. And like I said, man, just because I think his impact is stronger than just politically, because what he has been to a lot of our oppressors and people that hate us is pretty much damn near what President Obama was to all of us. How everybody had that enlightened feeling, everybody had hope. It's almost like now you got folks that's just out here just hella bold and ready to say whatever with no consequences,
and
because
that's not cool.
and it's not cool because they know
that's just a human responsibility. Like, you shouldn't do that whether you're black. Like, you just don't treat people like that. You don't have to like me. You don't have to agree with me. Like, what is his grandmama say? You ain't gotta like me. Yeah. But you ain't gotta talk about me and treat me mean.
like that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, we don't have to do any of that. Like, I'm gonna stay out of your way, you stay out of mine. Like,
You see the folks at the border, the kids. How you feel about that? The young babies.
It's like, man, I'm not gonna lie. Like, sometimes I try to first of all, it pisses me off.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first emotion. And then it just hurts my feelings. It hurts my heart. Like, it really, like, and the thing that is worse is the comments.
Oh yeah.
Like, these white people are really like, well, they're illegal. Like, it's like you're dehumanizing. Like, it is.
Yeah, it's messed up.
It's heartbreaking.
It's almost as though we're going back to the days of people of minority are only considered a third of a human. Like, you're less than a whole human. Like we
That's
are real
exactly
deal
what
taking
doing.
steps backwards.
They did it during slavery. They did it during the Holocaust, and
Like,
now
we
they're
real
doing
deal
it
going
again.
backwards,
Yes.
Shout out Jeff Sessions. This is all your fault. Just want to let you know that I see what you're doing. If I find you, boy, the Secret Service gonna stop me. But you gonna hear me though. So Jeff Sessions, you an interesting character.
Yeah, man. This time we could literally stay on this topic for hours, but
so we're gonna wrap one more thing.
We're gonna wrap it on up.
If you don't mind.
Sure.
And whatnot.
So, anything about yourself you'd like to tell the people on MassCtv?
Anything big you have coming up?
What's next?
Yeah.
But don't give away too many gems.
Little sauce.
Yeah. I don't announce projects, but we just moved into our new studio. So
New studio.
Hold on, not that was on in sync though.
Oh man,
that was
unison. That was
perfect.
We
Right?
planned that. We planned that.
That was perfect.
That
was perfect.
Chemistry, baby.
You guys did great.
We practiced.
I have not been to any clapping practices. I have no
was
clue
wonderful.
what Dub was
You
talking
guys
about.
killed it.
That was splendid.
I'm interested to
Bruh,
hear
and we
you
all
guys
had
say
the
about
golf clap too, though. That was the golf clap.
I love us for real.
Yeah, bro.
I love y'all for
Like,
real.
straight up.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a really awesome grand opening in August, and we'll be sure to announce that. You guys are invited for sure. We would love to have you guys there.
Okay.
Heard.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Much more space, much cooler vibes. We're really excited.
I like the old
Can you shout out?
space, but if we got bigger and better coming, I'm with it.
Oh yeah. Now you came. You didn't.
And you didn't come solo. She didn't come
Right.
solo today. So
What?
I said you did not come solo today.
So who'd you
Yes,
guess, bro?
I brought some of the awesome team members. Corey's over logistics and planning, and Paige is doing creative direction. So she's helping with visuals and things of that nature. So
Paige is very clutch. She has helped create a socialite group a time or two.
yeah,
Just on the wham, you know, she shoot a brother that text and be like, hey, you need to fix this, you need to do that.
Right.
I'm gonna run that real quick. So, yeah.
We
Do
have
you
some awesome
two
team
ladies?
members.
You two ladies want to say anything? Or?
Y'all just in the
Look at
kitchen.
y'all. They like we just in the bite.
He's in line.
We in the bite.
So just in case anybody else is new, if you're new to Paige Brown Designs, I need you to get with it, and we're gonna give you an opportunity right now to get with it. How can they follow?
What's your sign?
Me?
Yeah,
I'm Taurus.
you're Taurus.
What's up?
I can see that.
Girl, we're gonna talk about our camera 'cause we wild. We crazy on this side, but it's all us. It's all us.
I love it.
So-
Paige Brown Designs. Paige Brown Designs with an S. DESIGN.
Hands, bro. Hands.
We're doing some new things too, so yeah, you guys stay tuned with our social media. We're excited. You wanna follow us?
Wonderful. That's great.
We would love it. If
All
not,
Nashville, Middle Tennessee.
That's
Y'all,
what I
are y'all staying in the South? Can we say Georgia? Can we
we're in
say
East
Florida?
Nashville. We're still in East Nashville.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I think that's one of the best spaces for
But we're global and we can travel.
Oh, come on, T.
Exactly.
Sometimes you gotta step out, bro.
Yes, I thought you meant location with our new studio building.
Okay, cool.
But
New
yes,
studio out east.
our
Cool,
new studio is still in East Nashville. But as far as events and the scope of events, absolutely we travel. We just came back from New York. We did an event. We have some events in the Bahamas coming up. South Carolina. So yeah, we international. We are.
International stage.
God is dope. God is good.
Oh,
and our clients.
All shout out to them.
Our clients are
Speak
so
on it.
cool.
Speak
Like
on
they're
it.
so awesome. So yeah, we're excited.
That's love. Well, I think that's it. We're gonna shout out our sponsors real quick. Creative Socialite Group. If you are not following Creative Socialite Group, I need you to get with it.
Right now.
I'm tired of y'all talking about ain't nothing to do in the city. Because there is.
Yeah,
I'm tired of y'all not knowing what the next move is and texting me at 11:30, what's the move? What? You don't know. You ain't following Creative Socialite Group. So, shout out Creative Socialite
He
Group.
better be pitching Creative Social.
Right.
That is
Yeah, he doing it.
It's plenty.
He about to have me follow it.
I'm
Follow him.
about to unfollow and follow again.
Unfollow and follow. Hey,
Unfollow and follow again so we know it's wrong. Unfollow and follow again so we know it's wrong.
Man, y'all are wonderful people.
Appreciate that, Doug. Appreciate that, my
All
brother.
in the game. Also, King of Fresh.
Yes.
Shout out
please.
KOF. I don't got my gear on today, but you know we
What
always
up,
do
Fields?
represent in
Yep.
the field.
What up? Humble thyself.
Don't let me tell you
Humble
twice.
thyself.
Humble
Don't let me tell you
thyself.
twice.
Yep.
King of Fresh taking over as well.
Mhm.
Yeah. If you just stay woke, stay hip to it, and wanna close this out, Paige? Anything?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm in trouble for them.
Go ahead.
Go ahead and do it then. It's
No,
28th
hold
and
on, wait.
Jefferson,
I
so
don't
you can
want
do
to get
that.
y'all excited. No, can I shout out hubby's business?
Yes.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
y'all got the sponsors. Y'all got the
You better
sponsors and
support your
everything.
man.
I'm about to plug Solo Altitude.
Yeah.
Really
Oh,
quickly.
yeah.
Solo
Come on.
Altitude Club.
Let me get them in my
Yeah,
Follow them
come
on Instagram as
Yeah,
well.
I see.
It's a lot of dope brands out
see
here.
it?
So,
I'm about to say he ain't need you
these
game.
are okay.
He ain't need you
G, she ain't there know, but now she knows.
She ain't know.
Like, you know what?
She
They
ain't
need to pay
know
attention
that.
to y'all's heads. Yes.
Yeah. So I be real cautious not to wear this to work though.
True.
I be real cautious
No, we
not to wear this to work.
There's exclusive lines with Soul Altitude, but we got the one you can't really wear to the corporate setting, so I got to take this off when I'm going to the office. But when I'm out with the gang, we chilling on 28th and Jefferson.
Mhm.
We good. So
Yeah.
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 Soul Altitude all the time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get my hat soon too. Everybody,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Get you a
saying?
hat.
I feel like the kid that pick last on the court. Yeah.
Now
Yeah,
we gonna get you
we
late.
gonna
Or
get
didn't
you
get
a
picked
hat.
up for the game, so it's all good.
We're gonna get you a hat.
Cool.
But yeah, man, that's it. I just want to say thank you, everybody. Thank you for having me, guys.
No problem.
Always.
Super
No
appreciate
problem.
that for sure.
For sure.
Definitely support you guys, whatever you need. Thanks for the community support. I don't know. I'm just happy. I'm happy to be here. So.
And that's
Appreciate
always
you
the best
guys.
feeling. That's
The
what
best
you
feeling.
want.
Yeah.
That's what you want. Well, Doug, take us on home.
There it is. Well, tune in next time. Thank y'all for tuning in today. 28th and Jefferson, we out.
Hey. Hey.
Hey everybody, it's Paige Brown with Paige Brown Designs, and you're listening to 28th and Jefferson with